I always thought it was kind of simple, like playing defense on basketball. I got to stop this guy from getting to the basket. I'm talking pass blocking. It's not easy, though.
Yeah, it's not easy at all. More as you progress, you get more stickler on yourself.
Absolutely.
About getting the things right.
You could have 75 snaps, give up a sack, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
that was a horrible game.
100%. You know, in real life, that doesn't happen. You know, we're a group of guys, you know, working towards a unified goal.
Offensive line is about a brotherhood. Just to be here with you, hanging out with the protege, you know, Ronnie Stanley, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's always a pleasure to be around you.
Yeah. First thing, man. How's practice going, man? How you feeling this year?
I feel good. Feel great. You know, it's been a little bit different this year, being, you know, the oldest guy on the offense, pretty much, and just kind of leaning into that role a little bit more and just making sure I'm encouraging everyone and being more vocal than I've been in the past.
Health-wise, you're finally feeling good?
Yeah, you know, for the most part, you know, just banged up, whatever. But for the most part, I'm good enough to where I can, you know, move the way I feel like I can move.
I know, because I tell people all the time, I say, man, when I felt good, you know, there was nobody I couldn't block. But when your body's banged up, like my last year I had my toe, like it just wasn't the same. People would bull rush me. And so you just know when you're not healthy, it's just hard out there. It's hard to anchor. It's hard to do the things that are necessary, man. So it's good to hear, man. And talk about that transition a little bit, just from going to being the young guy to the old guy. Because I just remember, like, it was subtle for me. Like, you know, you come in as a rookie and you're like trying to learn everything, and you got the old vet you're looking up to. Then all of a sudden, you know, kind of a couple of the old vets go away. Then all of a sudden you're kind of the middle-aged guy. And all of a sudden, you know, you're like, what are these young whippersnappers doing around here? You're not quite to that point yet, because this is what, year 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not quite there, year 12, but talk about like how the career has been going.
Yeah, I mean, I came in, it was like a room full of vets, you know, my rookie year. Jeremy Zutah, Rick Wagner, Marshall Yanda, you know, just some of the guys that were there. Yeah, so I got to gradually come up under Yanda, which I thought was really good, you know, to...
Did Yanda ever tell you the story about him getting tased as a rookie?
Yeah, he did. He said it was the easiest, what was it, $100 he ever made?
I think we like all chipped in about $500 or something.
Yeah,
I mean, it was something
he
ridiculous.
ever
That
made.
guy, yeah, so yeah. But he's a good one to come up under.
100%. So I was very fortunate to have him there. And then when he left, we still had some, you know, older guys in the room around the same age. Last year we had Kevin Zeitler, we had Morgan Moses, and those guys were like year 12, year 11. So I was still kind of the older guy, but I wasn't the oldest.
I'm the oldest guy,
you know,
yeah.
So I still didn't feel like, you know, that responsibility per se.
Yep.
But, you know, as the guy being here as the longest, I still felt like I always had a responsibility to, you know, just show guys the type of culture we have here, you know, the type of line, the type of mentality you want to have. But this year, like you said, all of a sudden, the next oldest guy, I'm only in year 9, but the next oldest guy is in year 6. So it still feels like that, you know? So just coming from that transition, all of a sudden, everyone's looking at you like you're just like this grandpa guy in the room. And I don't feel like that. But that's how they look at you, you know? You tell them what year you graduated. They're like, are you kidding me? So, but yeah, I mean, it's been good, I think. Just been able to transition like that under Yanda, and then, you know, I think all of a sudden this year, but I feel like I'm in a good position to be in that role.
Man, that's so awesome, man. Because I just remember, like, when you came out of Bishop Gorman High School, you know, because we both come from Las Vegas. Well, I live in Las Vegas, and then watch you go to Notre Dame and watch you come here and just watch you progress. It's just been really cool to just say, I remember him from when he was running around out there in Vegas in the 120-degree heat out there in that town. So that's cool to hear, man.
Let's go, fellas. What do you got, Ronnie? You get ready? Let's go, boys. Another opportunity, right? An opportunity. I can't wait. I can't wait. I love it. Let's go, boys. Let's go. I'm throwing 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, boys.
You knew the older veteran Marshall, but I remember the rookie Marshall. And when he came in, we were just saying, like, undersized guy. You look at him, you're like, I don't know if this guy's going to have what it takes. But after you watch him get down in that stance, that little pit bull, and the way he just locked on, the way he just, you just knew he had the mentality that he was going to be a good one. And I knew this as a rookie about Marshall. I mean, I feel like, he worked his way into becoming one of the premier guards in the National Football League just by pure effort and desire and just toughness, man. I mean, you obviously came up under Marshall. What are your impressions of Marshall Yanda?
Just a hard-nosed leader. Like, I feel like he's one of those guys you just love to go into battle with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you knew that guy was just a rugged, hard-nosed, grinder. And in the interior offensive line, that's what you need. That's such an important thing on the interior. You need those guys who are really just aggressive.
Yeah.
And he had that in him. And but on the other side, he was such a great guy at the same time.
I watched him as a rookie, but you watched his career, and you saw him at the end, and I watched his entire career, and just, outside of me, right now, he has been the second best Ravens offensive lineman in our history right now. I mean, you're right now pulling up, you're coming after us, but I think right now he's is he going to get in this? I sure hope he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. I think he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. I hope it's a first ballot, but if not, he definitely deserves to get in very, very soon. That's my personal opinion, Hall of Fame voters, and from a guy who's got one of these rings right here, boom, all right. I'm a little biased, I suppose, but I also protect the integrity of the Hall when I say if I think a guy's a Hall of Famer, then I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like it. Oh! That's why you Terrell.
Suggs.
Yeah, you knew Suggs. I played with Suggs for like his last couple years.
Okay, so you knew the older Suggs, but I played with Suggs a few years. I remember Suggs coming in as a rookie, and he tried like this move on me, and I was like, no, that's not gonna work, dude. That worked in college. I forgot what it was, some sort of little slap rip or something. But what the man did was he learned, and he said, okay, J.O., how am I gonna do it? And I took him under my wing, and he improved, and he became one of the best defensive players. I mean, he was so immature when he first got to the Ravens, when he's like 20 years old. But to watch how he progressed, to watch his maturity and, his commitment to the craft and to become the player that he was unbelievable. I mean, you got Ray Lewis, you got Ed Reed, and, you got Terrell Suggs. I mean, that's kind of the pecking order of the Ravens defensive guys. I mean, what did you see when you had him?
I saw like I said, towards the end of his career, so he was very outspoken, very outspoken, vocal leader of the team, and wasn't afraid to have fun in any situation. And he would be the guy driving Mr. Bisciotti's golf cart around to practice over the individual. I don't think anyone's ever done that since that time. But I just remember amazing get off, amazing instincts, reactions, and I feel like he got me ready for the NFL just by playing him in practice, just working against him. And he always would try to encourage me to, if he beat me really bad on a rep, he wouldn't kind of throw it in my face. He would just keep trying to encourage me to
exactly kind of like how I did with him. He's he's paying it forward like the Ravens do. I mean, and he was kind of like the glue and after Ray retired, he was kind of the guy who kind of held the Ravens, the idea of Ravens playing great defense. He was the picture of that. So I mean, he definitely deserves serious consideration for the Hall this year, 100%. To me, you're kind of born to play left tackle, honestly. Like, to have the necessary size and athleticism and the demeanor, not too high, not too low. It really isn't everyone's not born with that. But it's really about just trying to I always thought it was kind of simple, like playing defense on basketball. I mean, really, I'm like, I got to stop this guy from getting to the basket. I'm talking pass blocking, obviously not. Run blocking was, to me, just, I'm going to dominate you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a bigger, tougher, stronger dude than you. I'm going to move you off this line, and that's why I started playing offensive line. When you got to what we get paid for, the pass blocking, the dancing bear, as they like to call it, it was just, how can I marry? And I can actually use my hands like on the basketball court, because I know you played basketball. I can't touch him. I can't foul him. But on the football field, I can oh, that's not a foul.
Right.
Oh, we're good. So I mean, I kind of just, and then it's working on your footwork, trying to perfect the technique and how square am I, and all the little things. You need to learn the nuances of the position, obviously. But there's an attitude to it. There's a can-do, I'm going to dominate you attitude that to be a great one, you got to have. And you know this,
Right.
obviously. So
You say I feel like that mentality, play in and play out, you know, because especially when you know you're expected to play at a high level, when something bad happens, you know, it's all of a sudden like, oh, what's going on with this guy? Like, what's going on? So I feel like as left tackle, you have to have a mentality like you have to forget about things really fast and bounce back because, you know, even if you had a bad game or whatever, you could be blocking this next all-pro guy the next week. So there's always that sense of just bouncing back, never, like you said, never getting too high, too low. And because you can be a real stickler on technique, you know, I feel like as more as you progress, you get more stickler on yourself about getting the things right.
I was my own hardest critic.
Right.
I really was. I mean, because you could have 75 snaps, give up a sack, and be like, oh,
yeah,
that was a horrible game.
100%.
You know, so it's about trying to be perfect. I said it in my Hall of Fame speech. You shoot to try to be perfect, you know, and then maybe along the way you'll achieve greatness, you know, but you never want to mess up, ever. You know that's not possible, but that's what you try to do.
Right.
You know, and that's, yeah. It's not easy, though.
Yeah. It's not easy at all.
Yeah, like you said, you're dealing with Myles Garrett out there. You got guys just chomping at the bit, you know, and it's like third and long. You're like,
right. But honestly, anyone can beat you. Like, that's the thing about left tackle. If you're not on your game and, you know, anyone can really beat you.
Anybody, they sure can.
You know what I mean? On any given rep, the third, fourth string guy can give you the best rep he's ever done in his life.
He sure can.
And if you're not ready for that, you know, you're gonna pay the price. And I feel like that's kind of very similarities between left tackle and like a man-to-man corner or something like that, because you know, you could literally be going against anyone and you fall asleep for a second in your technique and they're right by you and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, other positions have that luxury where they don't have to, you know, think about that, but at this position, you know, you have to be on your game every single play.
So who are this generation's for you? Because I used to always get the question, who are the toughest guys you block? Who are the toughest guys you block? And it was always the same answer. It's Derek Thomas was the most talented person I ever saw. He had everything. He had speed, power, agility. He could just mix it up at you and do it all. But Dwight Freeney had the most devastating spin move that I ever had to go against. So I always know the question. When you get that question, who do you give them right now?
I usually always say Myles Garrett, you know, kind of like what you were saying. He kind of is good at like speed, power, change of direction.
Yeah.
Can kind of do all those things, give you a bunch of different things to worry about. And, you know, you always have to make sure you're on your top of your game because you have to make sure you're ready for everything. But yeah, I think that was probably.
Yeah, because I found like most guys only really had one really good move they could do. It was either a power or a rip or whatever, one good move. But a guy who could do it all was always the guy who you had to really be, all right, let me stay on top of this guy because he might try to hit me this, but the counter might come back. Like, I know this. When I played as a rookie, I played on Sunday. I could have probably played another game Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. But by my last year, it was like Sunday, and I'm about ready next Sunday to play. So how's the recovery process coming as you've matured and aged in the game?
I think, you know, some games I'll feel like that, you know, I'll come out of a game feeling like, you know what, I could probably play another game, like if I had to, like in a couple days, like you said. And then, you know, some other games, you know, were more physical than others. And, you know, you're just like, yeah, I never really need that rest, you know, and even after 2 days, you know, you're still feeling it. But, yeah, you know, some games I do still feel like that. Like I can, you know, still play, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Like when you're younger, you just you don't even feel like
you go. It doesn't matter. I could have kept playing another play. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Lamar takes the snap, rolls out, throws. Pat Ricard, touchdown Ravens! What a creative play call.
I played with, I think in my 12 years, about 15 quarterbacks, and now you got number 8 back there. I mean, Talk about him and D. Henry and this offense this year, man. It's just been really cool to watch the development. That I was actually in the cafeteria with Todd Monken talking about the old days, and in his second year now, man, he's really been. It seems like you guys have kind of found a groove. I mean, am I right?
Yeah, I think so. And I feel like there's still a lot left out there for us to get better at, you know. And playing with Lamar has been great. You know, I think main word for me, I just feel like I'm having fun out there when I'm playing with him. And then you add Derrick Henry to the mix, and, you know, it's just a ton of talent that, you know, you get to play for. And I just feel like very fortunate and blessed. That was one of the biggest reasons, you know, why I wanted to come back and play with these guys, because I just know how much fun playing on offense like this is. And I'll always choose winning over money, you know, any day. And I know playing with A, you always have a chance.
Just thinking about the many quarterbacks I had over the years, from Benny Testaverde to Eric Zaire to Wally Richardson, and I never got a chance to play with a guy that dynamic. So it just would just be so awesome, man. In season, so how do you unwind in the season? I mean, and off season as well, I suppose.
You know, I like nature. So anytime I can get out, like, you know, to the beach, see a large body of water, a lake or something, or, you know, kind of just be around the woods or some trees, hear some birds, I think that always kind of resets me and, you know, brings me back into perspective. And
this from a man who lived in Las Vegas. Okay, talking about the woods and the water,
yeah.
but okay.
I didn't really see, so I went to college.
Yeah, that's
you know, so it's definitely a different change of scenery, but I appreciate it. And I didn't appreciate the mountains in Vegas really until I left.
You leave them.
And now I come back and I'm like, wow, the mountains are beautiful.
Awesome mountains. I know. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Because in season, you know, like I would always just try to, you know, because I'm in the building, but then I would always try to just. Well, back in my day, you know, we played a lot of video games.
For sure.
Know, but we had to actually get together with each other to play video games. We couldn't like get on our headsets
Online.
and like we had to go to somebody's apartment or something. Or I've been trying to get him on the golf course for a little while.
Yeah.
We'll get
learning.
there. We'll get
I'm learning.
there. We'll get there. I mean, Topgolf, we did that in Vegas, and it was fun. We had a good time hanging out. And golf is something that I picked up once I retired, and I tell to get all the current players who don't play. It's a great game when you retire. It's something to do. You can still compete. It doesn't beat your body up. But not everyone takes to it, but I always try to push it. Like, come on, let's go. Big man, we can golf. But yeah, we're going to get you out there, though, dude. We're going to get you out there back in Vegas. We're going to get you on a golf course, get you some full-time. I mean, do you have to set a club
Yeah,
yet?
I got some clubs now.
All right, okay,
I've been taking little lessons.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I remember that. Like, that was like my rookie year, I'm pretty sure. And I feel like I pretty much went because I wanted to like hang out with J.O. Like I just wanted to like hang out and just kind of pick his brain a little bit. Ended up meeting his son, ended up like hanging out. It was a great time. But I'm very appreciative. Like you were always open to like communicating with me from a young age. And anytime I had questions, you know, always helped me. And I felt like that definitely helped me, you know, younger part of my career. Because, you know, there's not a lot of Hall of Fame left tackles that I know personally. So so that was nice. And, you know, you didn't have to. And you know, openly, you know, took your time to hang out with me and do all these things. So
you know,
I'm very
it's kind of like
appreciative
paying
of
it forward. And I'm sure like you do, I hear you're doing the dinners at your house now with the guys.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it's about. It's just about trying to keep the Ravens spirit, the offensive line spirit. You know, offensive line is about a brotherhood. You know how it is. Right. I mean, we're all together and we're all part of the same team. So it's always, yeah. Even though I'm not playing anymore, I still consider myself part of the Ravens team, the Ravens family. So
for sure. And we try to carry on like that type of, you know, like you said, like you're just that mentality, all those things that you did, all the guys you play with, you know, like Marshall's, all the things that he did. I think it's our, you know, duty to carry, you know, all those things forward.
Yeah, that's how organizations stay strong. You know, you have good people who stay in an organization for a significant period of time, but continue to pass their traditions of winning and being professional.
All day, let's talk. Come on, eye to eye. Let's go. Talk out there. Let's go, Raj. Believe, boy, you got it. Yes, sir, baby. Block, that was all you, boy.
So what has being a Raven meant to you?
I mean, I feel like the more I've been here, I feel like the more appreciative I am for the organization, you know, and I feel like a lot of teams out there don't really have everyone kind of focused on the brand. And, you know, it's kind of, I feel like the Ravens, you know, you're really fighting for the brand. And I feel like the brand is more important than any one person, you know, and I feel like anytime you have an organization like that, it's a good thing. And people are invested and they care about our success as a team. And, you know, I feel a very family oriented vibe as well.
It goes back to Art Modell coming from Cleveland and Steve Bisciotti learning from him, and Steve bringing in, when Ozzie was here, and bringing in Dick Cass and bringing in Sashi. And it's just a good lineage of good people who know how to run a good organization, and it's very professional, like you said, very family-oriented place. I enjoyed it, and, you know, we always try to do things the right way here. You know, we always try to play hard. You know, Harbs for 17 years now, I guess it's been out here just leading the charge. The thing that I miss, you know, in retirement is being part of a team, being part of something greater than me that we all are coming together to compete and work for. And how, while I have my golf and I have my individual sports, I don't have that aspect of my life anymore. But that was really, really important. So, I mean, I guess, well, what do you think about the whole concept of this team, this family, how you guys all come in and bleed and sweat and work together? I'm kind of giving the answer right now, but, you know, it's just kind of like, you know.
I completely agree. I think the older I've gotten, the more I've been able to appreciate just like the locker room time, the camaraderie, you know, having those dinners with the guys, being able to spend time, break bread together, because, you know, in real life, that doesn't happen normally. You know, we're a group of guys, you know, working towards a unified goal. I think it's a very healthy thing, you know, societally, to be able to do things like that. But that's not the norm. So I think, like you said, it's just being able to be around the guys and work towards a unified goal. I think is a very special thing. And when you have guys like this, I think it makes it even more special because everyone's more together. Because you can win games with guys who aren't really together, but I don't think you can win championships without a team like that's actually together. So.
No, there's so much adversity that you're going to have to go through and fight through to win a championship, because everyone does. It's just the nature of sport.
Right.
But how do you push through that as a group, and the stronger group of guys, the better chance you have to succeed. So, yeah. And just, I guess, in closing, man, what does the future hold, man? I mean, where do you see, you know, how are you feeling when, you know, we want to win a Super Bowl this year, obviously. That goes without saying.
Right. That's all in my future. I feel like I've just been focusing on winning a Super Bowl and, you know, me personally still playing my best football I haven't played yet. I still truly believe that I haven't, you know, reached my peak as a player. And, you know, people say what they want, but that's my belief. That's what I'm confident in. And as a team, my belief is that, you know, we're going to win a Super Bowl, you know.
We definitely have what it takes, man. And you definitely have been playing your ass off this year, man. And we can see it. So, man, it's just really good to see. And hopefully we can just continue.